morning and welcome, everyone. First, I'd like to do a bit of housekeeping. Feel free to unmute yourself while it's your turn to speak. Please be mindful of everyone else by muting yourself while others are speaking. You're welcome to put any contact information that you want to into the chat. We meet here to share deals, look for deals and solutions we have in need with our real estate. We are not your financial advisors, attorney, or accountants. We do not endorse or recommend any specific solutions or contractors here. You're advised to do your own due diligence to your own satisfaction before you invest. The first Friday of each month is normally Ask the Attorney with Ms. Catherine Davis. Our meetings are typically recorded, so only share what you want others to know.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Yeah, just remind me to mute my phone here so not interrupted. Okay, who wants to start out here today? Anything real estate related that you got something to sell? You know, you're looking to buy something? I might have somebody here that's got something you're looking for. And any services related to real estate.
I'll start it out.
Okay, Terrell, go ahead.
Hey guys, Terrell with Restoration One of Greater St. Louis. We are a 24-hour emergency service. We handle water damage, fire damage, and we are certified to remediate mold. We don't price gouge. We work directly with you. We're very transparent. If you need any help, please reach out. 314-873-2391. Again, that's Restoration One of Greater St. Louis.
Okay, Terrell, thank you for sharing that. Well, and along the same lines, we do have one of our supporting vendors on here from we got David and Stacy from Soto Property Solutions. They're professional property managers. Do you want to unmute yourself and tell us about your services?
Yeah, I will. Hey, everyone. Stacy Lowe, David Soto there too. We both work for, he's the owner broker of Soto Property Solutions. We're a full service property management company, anywhere from St. Charles, St. Peters, all the way down to Boot Hill, Sikeston, Missouri, Charleston, Missouri area, all on the east side of Missouri. We will manage properties anywhere between those areas. We handle everything from start to finish. I'm a licensed realtor. If you have any questions or have any properties anywhere in St. Louis or SEMO, give us a call. We'd love to discuss everything with you. My number is 636-305-3380, and I am extension 311. And then my email is stacy@sotops.com, stacy@sotops.com. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Stacy. And if you didn't get that, there's a link to their website with their phone numbers on our website, STLREIA.com. Okay. Anybody else have anything for us today? I know this is the first Friday, and a lot of you might have been expecting Kathy. I don't know, John, have you heard anything from Kathy or anybody at their firm if they'll be coming in today?
Yeah. Kathy will not be here today. She'll be here either next Friday or the Friday after. She had a scheduling thing today.
Okay.
And, you mentioned the landlord tenant education program that she's going to be a major part of, and I just wanted to make sure that we did have that on the record. I know a couple of people joined since your announcements here, but she will be with as you know, the attorney we know, but also we're going to have, it'll be Susan Alverson. She's an attorney from Legal Services of Eastern Missouri. You might have been if you've been around us for the last couple of months, you know Peter Hoffman and Tony and Smith Gillespie. We were working with them on some of the vacant properties in St. Louis, and we will have more on that as it comes out. So also Heather Hayes, which is Associate St. Louis Circuit Judge, will be there also as a panelist. And then the moderator, as you mentioned, Lloyd, will be St. Louis Circuit Judge Kalia Stovall Reed. So this is at the St. Louis Public Library, the Central Branch Auditorium at 1301 Olive, and it's from 5:30 to 7. They do not have an RSVP, but just make sure you get there early to get a good seat because it is limited seating. So other than that, Kathy will be here with some updates either the next week, either next Friday or the week after. So, due to the holidays and some of the things going on in the court system, she just said she would not be here today. So that's really about all I have. It's all I know about her. So thanks.
Okay. So she won't be here today, but if you got a question, a burning question for an attorney, you can save it for next week or the following week, and hopefully she'll be here. Busy lady. We appreciate the time, all the time she gave us during COVID when she wasn't so busy, but she was on here every week. But anyway, who else has got something for us?
I have a request.
Sure, Tim, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just looking for some suggestions for appliance repair services.
Okay. Anybody got any appliance repair services off the top of their head? I'm pulling up my guy here. I've got somebody that I bought used appliances from. I got two. Yeah, I've got somebody who I bought used appliances from, and I know he does some. I'm not sure how active he is on doing house calls. Let me see. But if somebody else has something for while I'm looking up mine, has somebody?
Yeah, this is Anne. I do have an appliance repair for you. This is Yasir, Yasir. And we have hired him in St. Louis City, South City, specifically. I don't know where all he works. His number 314-821-0247.
Is he an individual or a company or?
He bought one of the companies.
Oh, okay.
I just don't have that information in my phone. I don't think.
Okay.
But
All right,
but
thank
he
you.
is an individual. Whenever we've called, we've only ever had him. So if he has
Okay.
employees, I don't know. But
Okay.
he's been great for us.
All right, thank you.
Okay, and I found the number for mine. It's Above and Beyond Appliance Repair. And the number for them is 636-579-6222.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay,
Appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. Hopefully between those two, you can get your appliances repaired.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, anybody else got anything for us today? Or any more requests? You got a type of a contractor or repair service you're looking for? Yeah, it's amazing how much I was when we amazing how rough tenants can be on appliances, and always have more calls for appliance repairs at my rentals than I do at our own house. That was,
Hey, Lloyd,
yeah.
I got
Dave,
since nobody's thinking of anything at the moment, I got some excitement that happened yesterday for me. I'd said, I think before, I'd gone down to Chattanooga, Tennessee last week for one of my short sale students to do an appraisal at the house bank. And we'd done some door knocking while I was there, since I'm in Chattanooga, and we got 3 short sales out of 6 houses we went to. But the exciting news is yesterday we did the appraisal. The foreclosure is on Monday. It's a VA loan, so we're dealing with the bank, the VA, and then of course the appraiser with a Monday foreclosure date. And so they did the appraisal and the appraiser never turned in the appraisal report. So we're trying to postpone a foreclosure. And so the way we do that is get the bank to do an appraisal. Well, the appraiser didn't turn the report in, but we found out because the bank didn't give them the right code format to submit it. And that guy was out of town all week on vacation because of, that holiday thing. Anyway, so yesterday we got the bank to postpone it for 30 days. So we got a foreclosure stopped at the nick of time and postpone it for 30 days. So that's kind of really, really exciting on that.
Okay, and that was only because they didn't get the appraisal didn't get turned in?
Yeah, basically, I mean, obviously, if they would have turned their appraisal in, then we would have known the price. And then if we'd have known the price, we could have made our cash as is offer for that price. But we can't do that if we don't know what the value is. So kind of was a catch-22, but the key was using the VA, okay, to do this. That we said, hey, look, the VA ordered an appraisal. You're not waiting for the results to come back. And furthermore, your own employee isn't in his office to respond to what needs to be done. So we and then we used some words like strenuously suggest that they postpone. And we didn't use the word lawyer, but when you say that before you say I'm getting a lawyer, you say I strenuously suggest that you consider postponing. And so anyway, the point is it worked, and that's always exciting for me who does short sales, because that's the whole goal, is to keep the family out of foreclosure.
Yeah, you got them another month. So
yeah, and then it's time for us to be able to buy the house. Now we can then negotiate with the bank and buy that house for a really, really huge profit with it. And stuff.
okay.
But anyway,
more time to negotiate that price too. Then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I just thought I'd share that since nobody else had thought of it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I remember you were in Chattanooga in last week's meeting. So. Yeah, that's very, very good news.
Way to go, David.
Thank you, Dwayne. What are you up to, Dwayne? Nothing special? No, I started talking about appliance repairs. Yeah, I always got more in my, when we updated our kitchen, we had a perfectly good, white range, which I got a lot of white ranges and electric glass top and everything. And all my, we got most of our rentals, we got those. And I was like, okay, ours is 20 years old. I got to put it somewhere. It's still in great working shape. I got to think and looking at all my properties, and all of our properties have newer than 20-year-olds. A range and a electric range and a rental doesn't last 20 years. So I would be, if I couldn't upgrade anybody because it would be giving them an older range. I ended up putting on, Facebook Marketplace, and passed it on to somebody else that had in need of a range. So I did find a place for the refrigerator though. I had an old refrigerator in one of our rentals. I was able to upgrade, keep those tenants happy. I upgraded before it was even broken, even so, and passed along the other one to a charity. So, okay, anybody else got anything? Thought of anything by now?
I'd like to say good morning.
Hey, good morning, Laura. I haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you.
I'm really trying. My Friday mornings are really tight and I can't always make it, but I love coming to this meeting. I wanted to say, first of all, David, I guess, I'm very impressed that you knock on 6 doors and you have 3 projects going. That's encouragement to me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get out the door, and I don't know, there's that little hesitancy, and yet I'm very comfortable with it, but whatever, I don't know. I don't know the neighborhoods well, but I have looked at software programs I did one free trial and said, no, this isn't it, because I looked again at another one that I had accessed a couple years ago. And when I took a look at it, I said, okay, I'm going to do this one, at least for the trial. And I haven't initiated the trial yet, because during the trial, I not only want to pull data based on criteria I've identified, but I also want to physically go and see, based on the criteria and the data that I got, is this what I was looking for? Or what am I, I'm trying, to get an understanding. And I'm also, I guess, the person who overthinks everything. It's true. It's true. It's absolutely true.
Well,
And I'm the person, I don't want to go out the door till I feel like I really know what I'm doing. That could take several lifetimes.
Yeah, I'm an engineer. I know exactly what you mean, Laurel. Look, here's the key thing that what we were doing is, I target people in foreclosure. They need your help. They're desperately waiting for you. Okay, so the only question is, will they come to the door? Okay, that's really all it is. When you're there with a heart to help them out, okay, they see that, and then they're going to respond to you. And I think that's why, and it is unusual for 6 houses to get 3 people to agree to do a short sale. That is unusual. I mean, I went with my student Charlie here in St. Louis. We went to 6 houses and nobody answered the door. Zero answered the door. But he got 1 short sale out of that, and no one answered the door. Okay, he got 1 short sale out of 6. No one answered the door. No one came to the door, and it was because basically they saw him through the window. Okay, saw that he was there. Okay, watched him walk off and leave. Okay, but because we had mailed him a letter and we'd done certain things at the house, okay, that that they could tell it was him because of what we did at the house. And he got 1 short sale. So yeah, just talking to people, I suggest you go with another partner when you're door knocking, somebody that's with you, not by yourself, and stuff like that, especially if you don't know the neighborhoods and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, that's a great way to meet people. And if you know the facts about, a little bit about real estate, you're going to know more than they do, right? Okay, they don't know anything. And so, various ways, people here that can get back, you can contact us with questions and tell them, I'll get back to you with an answer.
Yeah.
So just get out there and do it. It's a lot of fun.
So yeah, probably that would be a good idea to get a partner to go around initially. I have a door knocking book that I haven't finished reading yet, but I haven't targeted foreclosures per se. I am looking for distressed properties and distressed people, distressed situations. My business model is to solve problems, to solve other people's problems. And that's the starting is, what are the problems? What issues are these people facing? And how do we solve those issues? And then looking at it in a way that takes care of everything they need. And also, pays me something. I don't need to make, huge amounts of money on something to do it. I don't, but I just want to get out there and solve problems because, that's what I want to do. Everybody has their own thing they want to do. And
well, Laurel, do this. Contact me offline because I recorded the audios of those. So whenever I go to a house, I put my iPhone upside down in my pocket, turn on the voice memo feature, and then I record all those calls at the doorstep with it. If you want to contact me offline, maybe I can run you through just what a real life one actually, is like,
thank you. Yes.
To let you see, how easy it is to do, and a little bit of technique. There's some technique there, but yeah, get a hold of me offline or something, and we'll talk about that.
Thank you. Well, one quick question is, did your partner or the person who, knocked on the door and nobody answered, did he leave a note and then walk
No,
away?
absolutely. Yeah. There's a technique, I'm not saying that you spray paint your phone number on their front door. Okay. I mean, maybe John Lee might do that, but
The window.
but you put some kind of, document, for better words, on the door, taped to the door with blue painter's tape. Okay. Blue painter's tape. So you don't rip off their paint, but there's a lot, more to it there, but yeah, get a hold of me this weekend or something.
Oh, thank you.
and everything.
Thank you very much. I'd like to do that. Should I
Hey,
put-
this, oh,
sorry.
sorry.
Do I just go to your website and that's how I get a hold of you? Or do you?
Yeah, or my phone number is 636-685-2990.
Can you repeat that?
636-685-2990.
Thank you. And it's best to call?
Yeah, you can call me. That's fine.
Okay, thank
Text
you.
call, yeah.
Hey, Laurel?
Yes.
If you want to get really smart on it, David's got a class, because he's not telling you, but he's got a class and he's got good, I see good results that he posts all the time about his students. So it might be something you'd consider.
Okay, thank you.
Keeps get, it keeps, hey, thanks for bringing that up. I'm Elaine. I'm new to the group. This is my second time. So that was great chat there. And I wanted to take it a step further on the foreclosure and your concept that you mentioned about solving other people's problems. When you say that you're chasing foreclosures, are you looking at it twofold, meaning you can help them out by buying the house so they don't go into foreclosure and get something out of it? And or do you offer them the option that you can buy it and they can continue to live there and rent from you? That goes to Davis, I guess. Is that your name?
Well, I think David generally renovates and resells the houses.
Yeah, Elaine, I don't know if you're,
Yeah,
I don't know if you're asking Laurel the question or if you're asking me.
well, I think it's just a general question.
I'm actually asking David, since he chases foreclosures or made the comment that he targeted people with foreclosures, what the thought process was behind targeting foreclosures. Because I've talked to other coaches who won't touch foreclosures.
Okay, well, I'll answer your question. And if you want, Mr. John Lee had me do a presentation to this group 3 years ago on short sales. And my wife recorded it on her little iPad, and I can certainly send that to you for more information. But to answer your question is, I, for 13 years, have been working to keep families out of foreclosure by using the short sale method. So short sale means that, generally that you think that the house is underwater, they can't pay off their loan. And so they're in a big pickle, right? If they sell their home with a realtor, they don't pay the loan, they can't sell it. So I specialize in techniques to do a short sale. So that is my primary business. Now, if I come to a homeowner that wants to keep their house, okay, then I can help them do a loan modification. I get zero out of it. They don't pay me a fee ever. And so I help work with the bank to force the bank into looking at, their situation to potentially do a loan modification. To be honest with you, though, only 3% of loan modifications go through. So they end up back into a position of having to sell the house. Now, let's say they have equity in their house, a lot of equity in it. Well, you can't really necessarily do a short sale. So in that particular case, I can just outright buy the house, right? Like any normal investor. But there's many cases, Elaine, where they don't want to keep the house. It's divorce, health issues, house is torn up and in bad shape. And so a huge number of those people want to just walk away. And when they want to walk away, then that's the cases that I do on a short sale. So to summarize this in another sentence here, like an hour and a half video into another sentence, is that Black Knight has this study that they did of foreclosures over 30 years of foreclosures, and homes that had 40% equity, 40%, you could snap your finger, put it on the MLS and sell it. 1/3 of those went to foreclosure anyway. Okay, it's not about the house and what the house is worth. It's about their life, where they're at, and what they can handle and what they can deal with. And so in those cases, I will do a short sale because I can take the bank from owing $190,000 to buying a house for $29,600. That's what I do in my short sale method. I like flip the bank, so to speak. And so when they don't care and they just want out, then I say to them at the kitchen table, look, you're never going to pay me anything for this. My goal is, so that you understand why you're not paying me, is my goal is to buy the house from the bank for $1. Okay. And I'm going to fix it up really nice, best house in the subdivision. And I hope to sell it for $1 million. Okay. Now, if that's not okay with you, then I can go ahead and leave. That, whatever, I won't bother you. I won't do anything, but if that's okay with you, then I can stop the foreclosure. I can get you 3 months, 6 months, sometimes 12 months in the house while they save their money up. They can start over. We stop the foreclosure, we remove the deficiency, and there's like a whole other host of, benefits to it. So I do short sales. I don't do a lot of creative financing when I know I can take the bank down to $29,600. And I use that as a reference because if you live in St. Peters, Missouri, go look up 1 Torian Drive, St. Peters, Missouri. I bought it for $29,600 and sold it for $275. Okay. And so I prefer short sales because that's what I got good at. That's the short answer. Long answer.
David, I'd love to follow up with you. I think one of the other gents mentioned that you had a class, and I really like this concept of short term and what I'm hearing today. So if you don't mind, I'd love to follow up with you.
Okay, well, that's not what this Friday session is about here. Really, it's about sharing ideas and sharing stuff like that and everything. But but you got my website's in my email or my name on the picture. If you want to go there, that's up to you.
Okay, great.
Anyway, yeah, I
Thanks for
also
sharing
want to
that.
throw a comment in because you were asking about if you stop the foreclosure, you could buy the house and let the homeowner stay in there as a tenant.
Right.
There are potential legal issues. I know in the past, possibly if you structure all the contracts right, you might be able to avoid issues. But I know I do know of somebody in the past that got in some legal issues with doing that. He saved somebody from a foreclosure, and then the thank you from them was when they got into another issue and couldn't afford the payment anymore, then they sued him. They sued the person that saved their foreclosure, and he ended up losing quite a bit.
Yeah, actually, yeah, very good, Lloyd, to point that out, because there's a distinction. It's against the law to do a short sale where the bank takes a loss and you rent it back or sell it back to them. The only way, Elaine, you can let them stay in the house is you've got to outright buy the house and do seller financing, okay, with it. So you have to buy it and pay the loan off. In a short sale, it's a federal law that you cannot rent the house back to the person. I don't care how much you like them and love them. You can't rent it back, and you certainly can't sell it back to them. Okay, that is against federal law.
Yeah, on the short sales, and I don't know. I'm not sure this instance that I'm talking about was a short sale even, but just because the person he sold it to had a better attorney than he did, it wasn't a good outcome. Let's put it that way for the investor. So that's something that I've always steered clear of, just from that one instance. Okay, anybody else got anything?
Hey, Lloyd, I just remember, I'm going to put in the chat box. I just remembered I got a wholesale deal. I put it in the chat box with the address. For the recording, it's 5372 Prairie Brook Lane, Florissant, Missouri. It's a rehab. Okay, sale price. So one of my students is selling it. He wants $119,000 for it. The ARV is about $250. It depends on how well you do the rehab, obviously. And the rehab is about $50,000. It's you got to do a lot to the house. It's a $50,000 rehab. And so, if anybody wants to contact me, I can give you his name and number, or however you want to do it. Just get a hold of me. I can get you the lockbox code and stuff, but that's a rehab in Florissant.
Okay, yeah, all right. You talked about that last week, so.
Yeah.
Question for you. How often do you have deals that are similar to this that you bring forward towards the group, or do we have to see these deals on your website?
Oh, look, I rehab most of my houses, so you're never going to see them because they're going to be sold retail. All my, I do about 5 or 10 houses a year. Very rarely do we wholesale one. And the only reason we're doing that one is because he's one of my students and he is all the way on the other side of St. Louis from Florissant. Okay. And so he's like, you know what? I'm just going to wholesale this thing with it because he doesn't personally want to be driving to the rehab. But normally, very rarely, I do 5 or 10 houses and I'm making $150,000 on a rehab. Why am I going to wholesale it? Kind of thing. So there's not a whole lot. I may wholesale 1 or 2 a year, and that's only because the bank gives me an approval, at the same time as another house. I won't do more than 1 house, per month. And so anyway, very, very rarely do I wholesale any.
Appreciate the transparency. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, Fabian, we do quite often have wholesalers on our call here. Just not, apparently don't have any today that have a deal to present. It's not uncommon though, so just keep coming back every Friday, and eventually I know you'll catch up with a wholesaler. Okay, anybody else got anything? Well,
David,
okay.
are you taking, David, are you taking more students right now, or do you have another session for your coaching programs?
Lloyd, I shouldn't be talking about this.
Oh, okay, sorry.
You can contact him offline.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
All right. Or maybe John just needs to have me come in for another monthly presentation on short sales.
Yeah.
If you want, I'll just do a whole, do a whole new presentation, on short sales like I did 3 years ago for the group.
John will tell me to just go in the backlog of the group videos and rewatch it. That's what he'll tell me to do. That's what he tells me every time.
It wasn't recorded back then. This was
I
July.
think that was before we were doing our recording. That was before COVID.
It was July 2019.
So I can get away with it this time.
It was a live presentation, and it was really cool. 150 people showed up in the room, standing room only. And I think Lloyd said you guys ran out of all your new member bags, for the year because everybody showed up to it. And that's actually what launched me into teaching short sales, because everyone at the end of it got pissed at me because I had nothing to sell. There was nothing at the back table. There was no product. It was just me, I guess John had a cancellation in their monthly presenter, and they had to pull out of the member resources. Hey, Dave, would you speak on short sales?
Right.
I guess so.
Maybe you need a team, Dave.
Yeah, but anyway, no, I would love to do another presentation for STLREIA.
So David, to that point, right? So based on what you just said 3 years ago, what in the environment from a short sale perspective has changed within the last 3 years, whether it's regulations, whether it's methodologies and so forth. So I think that would be key for if you do decide to do another presentation in the future.
Yeah, no, I
cover those differences between the last 36 months.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everybody on here who's a real estate investor needs to understand what's happened over the past couple of years, and specifically on short sales, Fabian. What's happened is that there's 2 million delinquent loans because of the CARES Act, the moratorium, the pandemic that occurred. If you recall, we all got on here every Friday, with Kathy, and we were all this stuff about renters and then not paying the rents and the courts shut down, all this stuff. Well, in all that, Fabian, everyone forgot about the fact that there's also a moratorium for homeowners not to pay their mortgage. And so they did that too. No one complained. No one marched on Washington, D.C. like we did because of the rental problems with renters getting out of it. But that created an 18-month backlog of missed payments in this country. that they could never pay back. And they thought it was free, but the moratorium wasn't free. They have to make up those payments. So we have over 2 million delinquent loans sitting there on the books right now because of the whole pandemic. And that's the big thing that's changed over time is the CFPB came out with new rules when they ended the moratorium in July of 2021. They ended the moratorium, okay, and they basically, allowed the banks to go after them. Okay. And so that's what's changed now is what does the CFPB says needs to take place? What is the first tier of foreclosures, second tier of foreclosures? And knowing that is probably what is important to be aware of in today's market is both the quantity and the type and where they came from.
Okay, yeah, maybe we'll talk about that. Our next board meeting. All righty. Anybody else got anything for us today? Well, if not, I guess we can wrap it up here. I'll go get a little lunch and hope we'll see some folks at breakfast next Tuesday. I'm going to be back there I missed last month, but I'm going to be back there next Tuesday on the 11th. So hope to see you then or at our next meeting. John, you got anything, any other parting comments?
No, I don't have much today. We'll get together with David and set something up here coming up. We got some other things we want to do for the fall, but we'll just stay in touch. Yeah. Watch the website and we'll see you next week. Hopefully Kathy will be here.
Yeah, we'll get Kathy on next week and give us a preview of her education program coming up at the end of the month. So till next week, I'll take care. We'll see you.
Thanks, Lloyd. It's a great.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.